If I walk in a place and there's a dude that looks like Abraham Lincoln bartending, give me an old fashioned now, right now. You can put on whatever show you want. Make it as fancy as you need to.
I don't know if Abraham Lincoln would love a show.
He might not. He might not. He might just. Oh, Jesus. Jesus.
We just have all giants. We're kind of small guys.
Like, he's got to get him. He's got to get him.
We got to pack it up.
He said, because if we don't get it, somebody else is going to get it.
And drink straight out the bottle.
Cheers.
Ooh.
Yes.
Tonight on the Who Effing Knows podcast, we have sports, science, lanyap, and something else.
Science?
Who effing knows? Yeah, science, man. What do you think this is? Before we jump into anything, I have a question for you, Dave. How do we feel about retired Jason Kelce?
Is he retired?
I don't know. I heard he was retired. He looks retired.
I love it. I love Jason Kelce. I love everything about Jason Kelce. It's like the only thing I remember about the Eagles winning the Super Bowl
Yes.
is that Nick Foles did it, was there, and then that Jason Kelce dressed up as like whatever he dressed up as. It's the only two things. I completely forget the Eagles ever won a Super Bowl, number one. Like, I was talking to Chad about Zach Ertz the other day when he signed with Detroit, and I was like, oh, he's ring chase. And he was like, he's got one with the Eagles. I was like, I forgot the Eagles won the Super Bowl. You think people feel like that about the Saints? Like, they definitely forget who won the Super Bowl in 2009.
Maybe. But I think like with the Eagles, it's a little more like wild because you had a backup quarterback end up winning the dang Super Bowl. It was such a weird run for them.
I will die on the hill that them building that statue is what ruined Carson Wentz's career.
It was probably the knee injury, but yeah, that could be it too.
His psyche, though, like having to go to work every day and your backup's got the statue.
That is terrible. Like, think about that. That probably really stings. Stings.
Like, yeah, maybe the knee injury, but also, like, he literally goes to this. I guess he doesn't even like ever see the statue,
right?
He doesn't go that way. But like, just knowing it's there, it's gotta suck.
It does have to suck, but it also, I mean, so much came out of that, right? Like, first of all, that outfit you're talking about with Kelce, like, phenomenal A1 outfit. Like, if you're trying to get recognition in any way, which he probably wasn't. He seems like that type of dude. He's just like, I'm just going to do this to see if people laugh. What a great thing. The statue, the Philly special, like, come on. Like, for years, my daughter was called Dilly Dilly. And not that it's the same thing, but it just, like, coincided because it all happened on that run. Great times. Good times. All right. Sports. I want to get your take on this because I see it on Twitter all the time, and I am, quite frankly, tired of seeing it. Fumbling through the end zone. Tell me about it. How do we feel?
I know what your take's going to be because I saw you tweet it, but I will say, so I do hate the rule. Like, it sucks that when it happens, you know, I don't like the way the rule is now, but like, there's no like logical way to fix it. Like, I know everybody says, oh, just get the ball at the 20 or the 25. I'm like, I don't like that. Doesn't feel like there should be some kind of penalty for it, but like just giving the other team the ball feels odd. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't like just giving neither outcome feels right to me. Just giving the ball back to like nobody. You didn't. The weird part is if I just fumble it out of bounds in the middle of the field, I just get the ball.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I'm like I should keep the ball. Is like what makes it different that it went through the end zone. Like, I understand, yes, it went into the end zone, but, like, it's still just fumbling out of bounds at the end of the day. So I'm like, I feel like I should keep it, but just being like, oh, yeah, you get it at the 20 is weird. But, like, you shouldn't get it at the goal line. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the fix is. I feel like the fix is going to be they're just going to give it to you at the 20 and call it a day. But, like, I feel like maybe it should be a loss of down.
They're going to
give
something offense at the 20?
Yeah. Like, I think because of like the hate the rule gets, the change is going to benefit the offense. Like every rule change nowadays benefits the offense, right?
Yeah. My turn. I hate it. I hate that everyone cries about it.
I know.
Get over it. Giving it back to the offense at the 20-yard line, get the hell out of here. You know it's a rule. There's a reason Bill Belichick told his guys for years not to stick the ball out at the end zone. It's been a rule forever. Like, you know it. You've lived with it. Don't be careless with the football, and you won't have this problem. If you turn the ball over, it's on you. It's your fault. Stop crying about it, fan bases everywhere. It is what it is. That's it. Move on.
To play devil's advocate, I'm bringing it back to if I fumble it out of bounds at midfield, I still get the ball. What is the why, just because it goes out at a different point of the field, should the other team just get the ball?
It just is what it is. It's the rule. It's the rule. Here's the thing. Here's what I can get behind. If you really want me to flip the script and like jump to the other side, you said one thing that I'm okay with. If you're like, oh, the defense shouldn't get the ball, it shouldn't be a touchback, and they should get it at the 20. The offense maybe gets it at the 20. Disagree with that. I could get behind the defense still gets the ball, but they have it at the 1 yard line. Now it sucks because it's, you know, it's a little iffy there because you're like, oh, well, then they're in a poor position offensively. You know, maybe they give up 2 points. I mean, hey, the guys just fumbled the ball away at the 1 yard line. Like, it is what it is.
My only argument to the offense keeping the ball is because of what I keep saying. If it happens at any other point on the field, and like, yeah, you can tell me that's the rule, but also across sports, how many rules are there where we're like, this rule is stupid and needs to be changed? Across sports, there's just rules where we're like, this is a terrible rule and it needs to be changed.
I don't know. I think that when you start changing rules, it gets more stupid. You start to legislate the game, and then you have referees who have opinions about things that are calling penalties on opinions instead of facts. Like, nothing's black or white.
But this wouldn't be an opinion. It's reviewable. It's clear as day. Can be decided whether it was a fumble out of the end zone or not.
I get it. I'm just saying the rule is the rule, and it is what it is. Like, it's been a rule forever. You know not to be careless on the goal line. Like, that is my argument. It's not like you grew up this way. It's not like it all of a sudden happened and you're like, oh, I didn't know. And if you didn't know, you shouldn't be playing football.
I agree. Like, I understand what you're saying. I just think that I don't understand why I keep the ball at one point of the field and they get the ball if I do it at a different part of the field. I
can't get behind it. Like, if fan bases whining gets rules changed, or players whining because they screwed up and fumbled the ball and now it's the other team's ball, gets the rule changed, it kind of goes to it goes deeper for me, I guess. I hate that someone can complain about something they don't like and then get it changed. Like, it is what it is. It's been the rule forever. It's not like it's hurting anybody. Well, I guess it's hurting the offense, but like, get over it.
So, but where do you draw the line there? So, as far as changing rules, like adding the review to pass interference after the no call, like, was that something you were in favor of, or were you like, the rule is the rule? If he doesn't make the right call, like, what? Yeah, where's the line?
Review's a whole nother thing because you're just reviewing the actual call to make sure the call was right? Like, is what it is. But I knew going into that there was no chance they were ever going to overturn any of those pass interference calls. The outcome of that should have been totally different, where the referee should have been held accountable for bad calls and they should be penalized, and moving forward, that's what should happen. And you wouldn't be having all the problems you have now with the random penalties that people hate, right? Like, that's totally different. If we're talking specifically about rule changes, when they changed the overtime rule, thought it was dumb. It's been a rule forever. Get over it. Like, you don't need to bend over backwards to appease, or maybe you do. Maybe it's about money. Like, everybody loves offense. They love points. Like,
I think there's room for improvement sometimes. Like, the overtime, you can't say the game is decided on a coin toss because you get the chance to stop them, right? Like, if your defense is just good, like, if you play good defense, you'll stop them and get a chance. But also, like, I didn't like the way they changed the rule for overtime. Like, to me, if you were going to change overtime, it should just go to college. Like, that should be, if you want both teams to get a chance. Now, you don't have to start at 25. This is the NFL. Start at the 40. Start at the 50. Or even, start at the 25 and go. You know, the opposite 25 and do it. So you're not getting 7-8 overtimes or whatever. But I don't know. I think all rules should be open to change, I guess, but not for the sake of just appeasing crying fans, like you're saying. If somebody can convince me of a logical fix, of a solid reason as to why it should be changed, then I'm open to changing almost any rule.
I could get behind that. I don't think, maybe it is. I don't know. I don't want to be so headstrong here and just be like negative Neil, right? I don't know why I picked Neil. It's alliteration. I don't think you need to change the fumble rule. That's my opinion on that. I guess I would be open to discussing it. Like, I understand the point you have where, like, if you fumble it anywhere else on the field and it goes out of bounds, it is still your ball. I get that gripe, okay? I just hate when people change rules for the reason of, like, oh, it didn't work out in my favor, so this rule needs to be changed.
Yeah, for that rule specifically, like I'm on the fence with it. Like if at first I was like that rule is stupid, it needs to be changed. And then as it went on, the more I thought about it, I was like, I don't know what a logical fix to this is.
There's not one.
Right? So I'm like, I'm kind of just waiting for it because it's going to be talked about in the offseason about changing it. So I'm going to wait and see what the options are. And if any of them if I read one and my instant reaction is like, that's fair, I'll be like, okay, we can change it. But like if they say the offense just gets the ball again like if it's second down, they fumble out of bounds or fumble out the end zone, they just get the ball at the 20 and it's third down, like I'm going to be like, I don't like that.
No.
I don't like that.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it here. I've adamantly been against this, obviously, and Dave is not changing my mind. If anybody else out there feels like you can change my mind, I'm open to it. Tell me a solution here that is fair. And I'm going to kind of sidebar here now that I've said that. I also disagree with people who wanted, just to give you where my mind is, people who wanted to outlaw the tush push. Get over it.
Yeah, I agree, because you see other teams try it, and
right.
Even if every team was doing it and being successful, I still don't think I'd want it outlawed. Like that's just like if you can do it,
go for it.
Great. Like yes, I hate it and I hate watching it, but if it like, what's the difference in the tush push working every time, and like if just handing the ball to Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
On 4th and 1 every time.
Yeah.
Like if that had 100% success rate, you can be like, they can't line him up at running back anymore. Like,
oh, sorry.
Yeah,
didn't know we weren't grown ass men playing a game.
I think they're gonna end up trying to change that too, and I hope they don't, because that feels like you've seen teams fail at it.
Yeah,
overall,
countless teams.
Yeah, like even like the Bills don't get it all the time, and their quarterback is like 6'5", 250.
Yeah,
you know, so. And there's going to be a point where the Eagles' offensive line just isn't as good, and they don't get it every time.
And a lot of it, too, was Jalen Hurts. I mean, the dude squats more than anybody else that's ever lived, ever. So, you know, that probably has a lot to do with it. Yeah. We can move on.
Yeah. I just want to say, like, so you said I didn't change your mind. I really wasn't trying to, because I don't know.
Right.
If I had a fix and I was like, all right, this should be the fix, then I'd try to change your mind. But like, I don't know. And I understand what you're saying. Like, yes, protect the ball.
Protect the ball.
Yeah.
Protect the ball. You're taught from the first time you touch the ball at 5 years old in Pee Wee. Protect the ball.
Yeah. No, it
ain't new.
Yeah. Like I don't disagree with you. I guess I lean more on the side, to put a bow on this, of I want it to be different. I don't like, I need it to be a fair outcome.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's kind of just how I feel about all rule changes in general.
I'm okay with that. I'll sit here and be the a-hole, but I'm okay with that. I mean, just don't cry about something to get something changed. That's what I don't like. This goes deeper. Really, if you want to know what it goes to, I'm a Saints fan. The fact that they changed the overtime rules because we knocked out Brett Favre pisses me off. It makes me so angry, especially because those Vikings fans whined and complained, and to this day, they still whine and complain, and I don't want to hear it. You lost.
So the only reason the only reason I hate about complaining about when a rule changes, because I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, it's gonna benefit us someday. And I don't want to, like, I don't want somebody to pull up the receipts and be like, you remember when you used to complain about this?
I can assure you, when it comes to fumbling out of the end zone, I will not be on the other side where I'm like, oh, we shouldn't have lost the ball there. Don't fumble the damn ball. I'll be mad at the player. I'll be like, come on, man, like, do better.
I don't want to stick to rule change topic, but one rule they changed that I never liked that they changed was being able to jump over the lineman on a field goal. Like if you have somebody that is just that athletic, it's similar to the tush push. Like if you have somebody that is just that good and can just do it, I'm like, whoa.
I think that they change a lot of rules like that in the name of player safety. Because the guy's head's down typically, and like I don't know, just I don't know the exact reason. I remember that some of the talk around that was about player safety, and that's what they're trying to say about the tush push too, player safety.
I'll be honest, it does look a little like, I'm amazed that people don't get hurt every single time.
It's rugby. It's legitimately rugby, but I don't care. It's within the rules. There's been a lot like that. Here's another thought on that, on changing rules in the name of safety though. I mean, you've seen it, like they've changed so many rules in the name of safety for quarterbacks, for head injuries, for all these different things, and now you just see players with different launch angles and different attack points, and you're seeing other injuries. Like,
They're gonna change the rule. Like they're gonna stop letting players hit somebody below the knee, and it's just like I don't know. Like there has to be a line somewhere. I understand. Like don't get me wrong. Like I don't want my players getting hurt. I don't want any players.
Like,
getting
I don't
hurt.
want anyone getting hurt.
But like at the same time, like what? Like we gotta protect like the protect the game, like what we're putting out on the field, right? Like if a defender just can't make tackles because he can only hit somebody in one spot,
Right.
Like I don't get me wrong, I love seeing offensive games, but like there's something to a good defense, like a good defensive game, right? Like I don't want to see that taken out of the game,
Absolutely
because of rules.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I mean, and I know that they do it to protect the players as well, right? Like you've seen. I think it was Edelman or it was one of the former Patriots guys. I saw a podcast he was on the other day where these receivers, and this probably happens widespread in the NFL, these receivers know the game now, and they know that like you get taken out for a head injury if you even look somewhat razzled.
Oh, is this the Edelman and Wes Welker conversation?
So they're talking, and he's like, yeah, we had this thing where like we would run up to each other after a big hit and just tell them, hey, it's 2:00 on a Sunday. We're down by 13. He's like, we just had this pre-planned. That way we would know what to say.
I love it.
I'm like, that is insane. Like, first of all, wildly reckless. So insane that you're just like putting your head on the line there and like brain injuries don't matter. But that is what a football player is, and they know what they sign up for. I don't want them having, issues down the line when they're older. I don't want them having injuries now while they play. But it's a rough sport.
And I feel like most of them would tell you they would rather get hit high than low.
For sure.
Also.
For sure. Well, it's because they're not seeing the effects immediately. They might get their
Right.
bell rung and then they're going to be okay. But then when they're 60 and can't remember things, then it's a different story, which is
I had to
unfortunate.
look this up because you talked about Wes Welker, and I heard something earlier, and it was so wild to me that I had to just confirm it.
Okay.
Did you know Wes Welker doesn't have a Super Bowl ring?
I did not. No, because
All those years he played for the Patriots, all the passes he caught, and they talk about him, Julian Edelman, they talk about being a Hall of Famer because of postseason stuff. I just assumed that as much as he played with Brady, he has a ring. He doesn't.
He also played with Peyton in Denver. And he didn't get a ring, I guess, but they got a ring, and Peyton wasn't there long.
He never won a Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
That's insane to me.
That's insane to me too. That's insane because I don't know. I felt like he had like 3.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah,
Who
I just
knew?
assumed he was always there.
That sucks. Does Randy Moss have a ring? I wonder if that stretch, even though that offense was really good. I mean, they went undefeated that one year, and then they lost in the Super Bowl. Like, I'm wondering if they just never got over the hump.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could look it up, but
I'm not looking it up.
I know. Neither am I. I just put my phone up.
Someone tell me.
Let's move on.
Moving on. All right.
You said we got science. I'm kind of interested.
We got science. You want some science?
I do.
We got science. All right. I read a study. Let me scroll to it. There's probably some more than just one science. These are arguably science. Okay. All right. Everything's science, right? We're all matter. We all do matter too. Hey.
Too much positivity last week. We're not doing it this week.
So this week we're negative. No, this is actually going to be somewhat positive. So this is what I read. It's a study by Oxford University. So according to Oxford University, men need 2 guys' nights a week for their mental health.
A week?
A week. And this study, I was reading through it, is very interesting. It goes on to say that this is basically like guys' night where you're out having a few drinks, just like talking to your buddies, like kind of getting along. They basically say it helps with your stress levels. It helps with your dopamine levels, helps avoid depression, because when you're hanging out with your buddies, you're not thinking of the financial stress that maybe you have from your job. You're not thinking about your job. There's all this other stress that it takes off of you. And they say men need 2 nights a week for their health.
Okay. I like that. I like that I have that in my back pocket. But I'm going to ask you, personally, do you feel you need 2 nights a week?
I personally don't feel I need 2 nights a week. That'd be awesome.
Right.
Actually, it might get exhausting, to be completely honest.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think I want 2 nights a week.
It might get exhausting. I'd take 1. Can I bankroll them?
You just roll over PTO.
Yeah, just roll it over. At the end of the month, I'm going to take a couple days with the buddies. I'll be back.
I'll be honest with you. You give me 1 a month, I think I'm good.
I need more than 1. 1's good, but I need more than 1.
I don't know. I have the issue of when I go out, you know where I'm going? Like, but maybe that's because I know I'm only getting
That could be it.
one every so
you're
often.
like
right?
clawing at that. You're trying to get that
Right.
dopamine hit.
If I knew I was going to do this every week, I could probably be like, you know what? We'll take it easy this week.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a few with the beers.
Yeah.
We're going down to the Worcestershire pub. I don't know. It feels like something you would do in the UK. That's why. That's what I'm thinking. You know. Just,
Yeah.
oh, me. I can't even. I'm not even trying. I was gonna throw out a horrible accent there.
That's interesting. I don't think I want 2 a week. I'll be honest. 2 a week too much for me.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it depends. Like, I don't need a night out twice a week, but if I'm like, you know what I really could use is, and I don't know that this may come out sounding terrible, but just give me like one guy's night a week, and then another night of the week, like a couple's night, kids free.
Yeah.
I think
That's important in general.
Yeah, I think that would be perfect. Because, like, that's the point now where I'm like, I don't want to spend 2 nights away.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's fair. I don't disagree with that at all. I somewhat feel the same way. I would start to feel guilty a little bit if I had 2 nights every week where I was away from my whole family. I agree. And listen, that's a whole nother conversation. It's important to continue to date without your children, to continue to go have those good nights with just your spouse, which my wife and I try to do it. We don't as much as we would like. But, if we could get in a good rhythm, they say, what is it like, go on a date every week or every 2 weeks or something like that? There's like this popular like Instagram reel. I always see it's like date every 2 weeks, vacation every whatever. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, that was like something like my might have been my mom. Like when we found out we were having Kaysen,
Mm-hmm.
my mom was like, just don't forget y'all had each other first. And
Yeah.
like every time one of my friends has had a kid, like it's the first thing I tell them. I'm like, dude, like you have to make time for each other. You don't, it's all gonna go to shit.
I agree, and it goes deeper than that too, right? You have to put yourselves first in a lot of situations. You have to almost, not in a negative way or in an angry way or disrespectful way, but you have to show your children what a good relationship looks like. And sometimes that means putting your wife before your children, not in a way of like you're going to let your children be harmed or mentally affected by it, but seeing that, oh, mom comes first because of this or whatever the situation may be. I think that's important sometimes as well.
Right. I think people can view that negatively sometimes, where they're like, if they feel like they're not putting their kids first for everything. Because like when you have kids, like you immediately like, oh, this is like this little thing is number one,
Mm-hmm.
always, no matter what, right? And as you grow, have them longer, you're like yes, they like really they matter more than anything, always.
Yeah.
But like there comes points and times where you're like, this has to take precedent right now.
Yeah,
Like-
for sure. But I think that we talked last week about leading by example. That teaches them and helps them, it molds their mind as they grow. And part of your job as being a parent is showing them how to be a healthy, mentally stable, physically healthy, all these different things, showing them how to be that when they get older. And if you're living any way other than that and showing them anything else, it can confuse them. It can teach them the wrong thing. And you might not even think that you're teaching them that. I mean, I know I'm guilty of it. Like I'm quick to anger. I've got all these issues. Yeah, I don't know. This is just me spitballing here. I'm just thinking.
Yep. Yeah. We can move on because I'm going to just keep repeating the same thing. I agree, though. No, I 100%. I agree with everything you just said.
Sweet.
For sure.
For show.
Getting that for show.
All right. We have lists and we have lanyap.
Lists?
Lists. I texted you about the lists earlier.
Okay.
You want to do that now? I don't even have one.
I didn't write it down.
I didn't write it down either. You want to do a draft?
Fuck
yeah. Oh, let's do it.
I almost texted you asking that, and then I was like, nah, I'm not going to. And then it literally almost came out my mouth.
Let's do a
It's almost
draft.
like when we finish each other's
Sentences?
Yeah.
Sandwiches. Oh, missed opportunity. Bummer. That's what I was going to say. I will go off on this Frozen tangent. We had pajama day at school. Do you guys do pajama day for the kids?
Dude,
do they have pajama day?
They do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah?
Today was camo day.
Okay.
I didn't even
fun.
put it together until I saw.
Feels like a North Shore thing. But yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, they do stuff like that all the time. Well, I mean, like Zayden goes to school in his pajamas every day,
Well.
so But they do like Christmas time. They do Christmas pajama day,
Yeah.
things like that. But yeah,
Well, the reason I brought it up is my daughter wore her Elsa jammies today to school, and I was singing Frozen song in my head. Jinx again. Yeah, no. And listen, like, can we? I have a bone to pick real quick with schools everywhere. Actually,
let's do it.
like, I get it. It's fun to have these pajama days and these whatever the hell you just said days, North Shore Life days.
On cloud and camo day.
Right. Like, where do you think we are getting all this stuff from as parents? Hey, guess what? Next Wednesday is crazy hair day, and we would really like you to show up with a bottle, a toothpick, and it's like it lists out random stuff, and I'm like, what? Why? Why do I have homework? Why can't I just send my child to school in clothes? Like, I don't have to do this every month.
Right, because you could, but like then they're the only kid not doing it. You're like, I can't do that.
No, I have to.
Right.
I have to. I'm not going to have my kid be left out and be
Right.
made fun of, because kids are ugly and nasty and mean. And I will not have my daughter ridiculed for not being somewhat normal. I don't know. But yeah, these teachers and schools are like, hey, today's whatever day. And it's like, cool. Now that's work for me.
I'll ask Courtney. She's part of the problem.
She is part of the problem. Dang it. Drives me nuts. What were we even talking about? Fruit draft.
I don't know.
Draft.
What did you say? We had list and lanyap?
List and lanyap.
We'll
Yep.
get the lanyap after the list, or what?
We could finish with the draft. It's always fun to finish with the draft.
Yeah, I
right?
feel like we should. We got time.
We got plenty of time. We'll finish with the draft. Draft incoming. It's gonna be your fruity draft. Freaky Friday fruit draft. I don't know why I did that. Lanyap. As I hold up my phone and read something off of it. Are you addicted to your phone?
Yes.
Yeah. What would you do if you didn't have it? How would you feel?
I don't know if I'm addicted to my phone. I think I'm a.
What's your screen time? It pops up and
my
shows you. I
screen
know it
time.
does.
Mine doesn't. I turn that off. That's
Oh,
okay. My screen time is up there, but also it ties into my computer, and
Yeah.
I am always on my computer.
Yeah. that's
Always. Actually, I wanted to time myself this week. Like every time I got on like Photoshop or anything like that, I wanted to like start a timer,
right. Billable hours.
and I wanted to see
Good
like
idea.
I wanted to see what it was like. Like I'm always on my phone, but like I think I could like there's times at home or work where I just like leave it on the table and go do other things, and I'm like whatever. So like I can separate myself from it, so I don't think I'm addicted to it, but like I don't want to be without it.
That's fair.
I don't think I'm addicted to my phone. I think I'm addicted to the things I can do on my phone, if that makes sense. Like I like getting on Twitter for laughs. So I like that I can get on my phone and just get a laugh when I need it. I like being able to catch up on like what my family's doing easily that I don't talk to all the time. So like if that makes me addicted to my phone, then I guess so. You do it. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. Like in my brain, it makes sense.
Well, that's that's what an addict would say. Yeah, no, I'm 100% addicted to my phone. I could sit here and pretend I'm not. I could try to be like, no, I'm not addicted to my phone. You could take it. I'd be fine. And I think I would be. I mean, I grew up without a dang cell phone, and one of my favorite things to do was just sit on the porch and people watch. I could live like that if I needed to. But at the moment, I am 100% addicted to my phone. My screen time is relatively high, like six and something hours. Like it's 6 hours and something minutes. Something ridiculous. I'm always on it, scrolling Twitter, and it's partially because I'm looking for topics for the podcast or just things that are going to, jar me. I'm also obsessed with knowledge. I love reading stuff, so I'll just go search stuff and like read random stuff. 100% addicted to my phone, and it sucks. It sucks.
I don't think I'm addicted to my phone specifically. I'm just addicted to technology.
Yeah,
is what it is.
So this brings up somewhat of my next like conversation that I was going to go into with this. Do you remember a point in your life? I'm older than you, so I went through. I'm like that weird millennial group that like didn't have today's modern technology, didn't really have internet for a point, and then like now we have all this stuff. Do you remember any point in your life where like you didn't have the modern day internet or like anything like that, and what did you do?
As a kid, really like before I got like an iPhone, not even like before I got a cell phone. Because like my first cell phone was like a little Nokia, whatever.
Oh yeah.
That couldn't do
Snake.
everything. Yeah. Like until I got an iPhone, I would say like like I've always played video games, so I don't know if that counts as being
Yeah.
like
What was your first game console?
Super Nintendo.
Hey, see, I'm not that old.
I believe it was.
I'm not that old.
And all my friends used to. This is why all my friends would come to my house. I always had the newest thing, whatever it was. My grandpa worked for Exxon, and they would do these like giveaways or whatever, because at the time the game consoles weren't as expensive as they are now.
Yeah.
So they'd give them a magazine. If you were there for X amount of years, you had this many points, you could spend them on whatever. Mm-hmm. So my grandma would always use the points to get me the game console for my birthday or Christmas. So I always had whatever the newest one was. Mm-hmm. So like I've had all of it, and I think it was Super Nintendo. I never had an Atari, so like that's kind of where my line is. But from like Super Nintendo to N64 to just on, I had pretty much all of it.
That's fair. That was I thought you were gonna hit me with like, oh, it was like a PlayStation, and I was like, damn, I'm so old. My first one was also Super Nintendo. I remember my dad got it for me, and he bought me. I think it was Madden 95. I had Madden 94 as well, but he bought me Madden 95. It was like the first game he bought me, and then I had 94. I don't know why. And he told me when he bought it for me, don't tell anybody else you got this, because I guess he didn't want people over trying to play it. Like, you know, kids always want to come play the dang thing. But I remember on that game, YB. That was my play every time. YB. It was a halfback toss. I don't even remember what team I would play with, but literally like every play, halfback toss, 50 yards. Halfback toss, 50 yards. Touchdown. Like, it was like just spamming the same play over and over. Yeah.
I'm trying to think like when I always played on Super Nintendo, but I'm trying to think like the first game or like the first console that I was like just consistently playing, and what game it was. Like I want to say it was like probably like a SmackDown versus Raw on like a PS1. Is probably where I don't remember the order of the game consoles. Like my Dreamcast, I used to play the shit out of my Dreamcast.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the most underrated game consoles, period.
I knew, yes, Dreamcast is phenomenal. It's so slept on.
Yeah.
I knew I was addicted to video games when I first got, or I didn't even have a Nintendo 64. Somebody else had it, and I was going to their house, and they had like WCW versus NWO Revenge, old wrestling game. And it was like one of the first games you could like edit the characters and make them look different. So I would like make WWE guys in WCW and then like have matches, and like, oh, dude, I was such a nerd.
You know what? It was GoldenEye. That's the first one.
Yeah, GoldenEye.
That's the first one that I think, because N64 was definitely before PS1. Mm-hmm. So GoldenEye is probably, there was GoldenEye, and then there was some, and for the life of me, I can never remember what the name of it is. It was like a first-person shooter South Park game, and you could like, you'd get like a cow gun, and
I remember that.
You remember this?
Yeah.
But I don't know what the name of the game is.
They had a video store across the street. That's right. I said a video store. And it wasn't Blockbuster. It was like a Video Joe or something like that. Like some random off-brand video store where you go rent things. And they had like 7 video games. And I used to rent that over and over and over. My mom lived across the street in an apartment. And I mean, they knew me by name. I would come in there and just be like, yeah. And they'd be like, okay, we'll just put it on a tab. And I'm like, cool. So, yeah.
We were talking about this the other day, me and Aaron. I missed the ability to rent games. Mm-hmm. I used even up until I would go when Blockbuster died, I'd rent games from Redbox.
Yeah, I used to do that
all the time. Like as recent as whenever they stopped.
Yeah.
Like I tried GameFly for a little while, but that was just too much. It was too expensive.
Yeah.
And I didn't use it enough. But I hate example, the new Spider-Man game comes out. I spent $70 on the game. I beat it in 3 weeks. Now I can't do anything with it. Yeah. What are we doing?
Yeah.
I could have get this from Redbox.
Well,
paid for it for 2 weeks, and then
it could be the opposite, where they just continually they release an unfinished game and they just continually add things that you have to buy after you already spent $70 on the game, and then it's just like, what are we doing here? The gaming industry in general is just totally different from when I was a kid. Like, it's insane to me, and it's actually kept me from playing games.
Yeah. So something that my Quest does that I wish just was a thing across games is I can buy a game on there, and as long as I don't play it for more than 2 hours, I can ask for my money back. So you basically can buy anything, test it out, and then
I like that.
they're just like, yeah, no, cool. Here's your little credit and whatever.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, and I like Game Pass. Game Pass helps a lot with
Absolutely.
that too, where it's like, I don't really want to buy this. I'll just wait till it's on Game Pass, and then you play it. If you like it, great. If you don't, whatever.
I bought whatever the newest Xbox is the day it came out, and I have bought one game for it. One.
Yeah.
Game Pass is a complete game changer.
Yeah, I used to play 2K a lot. Like I was one of those guys. I was heavy into 2K, and my group just kind of fell apart. There was like at one point there was solid like 8 or 9 of us, and we would always get on run fives. We had a pro-am team. We joined these leagues. Like we used to play a lot, and it was fun. Then it got not fun, and like we just kind of stopped playing. And that actually, going back to the conversation we were having earlier, that was kind of my guys' night that I would have throughout the week. I would do it 3-4 nights a week and just play video games for like 2-3 hours.
Dude, me and like this is like me and Aaron. That's really like how we became so close. Like he would come over all the time, but like it did stop there. It was like as we got older, moved away from each other, every night like 3-4 hours on Call of Duty, or just he plays something, but we're just always in the chat, and like that's just how you. I would look forward to that at night and just talking about whatever.
Yeah.
And I've told you, like, if I could just record some of those conversations, it's the funniest. Like, it'd be the best podcast in the world.
That's actually exactly what made me start a podcast. My first podcast is we would get on there and we would have the most ridiculous conversations. And I'll never forget, and I'm going to put this on air right now. My buddy might not see this. I have a friend of mine that I used to play 2K with, and we would also play Warzone sometimes. And it was just one of those nights where we're having a few drinks, we're playing the game, and we got on the Devin Booker conversation. And this was before they were like in the finals or anything like that. This is when D-Book had like a 70-point game or something like that. And I'll never forget my buddy, I call him Roadhouse, but his name's Jay. He's the one who I originally did the podcast with. We were just talking about how good Devin Booker was. We're like, man, like this dude's like ridiculous. Like he's unstoppable. And my buddy Brian chimes in and he's like, Devin Booker is kind of like, shit, what's the guy's name? Now I'm butchering this story because I can't remember the guy's name. Danny Green. And I was like, are you kidding me? I'm talking like almost to a shouting match for like 30 minutes where it was like, how dare you disrespect Devin Booker like that? It went on and on and on. And like we're laughing and stuff throughout it at the same time, and we just keep going back to it. And at that moment, it was like, we got to start recording some of this stuff because these conversations are so silly and idiotic. And we talk about the most random things. I mean, we used to go down rabbit holes of politics. And my buddy Roadhouse was, he's black. And we would talk about race and like we would connect on things. And I would try to understand him. He would try to understand me. And it was just like the best conversations. I miss it. Now I need to do it again.
Yeah, yeah. But even when you start, it's never the same.
No.
Because it's just... because this camera's here, like, you know, like there's nothing we don't talk about. Yeah. But it's just not the same thing. Yeah. Like this isn't, we don't script this at all. Yeah. But it is kind of scripted in a way.
Yeah. Well, like, that's the exact reason why we don't script it though, is because we would like, hopefully, for some of that personality and those real raw conversations to just kind of come out.
Yeah. Like I think like last week was the perfect example. Like we didn't talk about that at all. No. Like I know we said before, our whole thing, like, the most conversation we ever have is, do you have any topics? And it's yes or no. And that's it. Yeah, I think. And people are always, I tell people that all the time. Like Dylan was one. Like when I just talked to him about the pod, I was like, yeah, we never talked beforehand. Nope. About like we never talk about the pod beforehand. We talk all the time.
We were talking about something completely unrelated before we started recording tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just like I tell him like, yeah. The two things people are always amazed by is that we've only known each other for like a year and a half, and that we don't script anything. Nothing. That was something I tried to tell Dalton when they were starting theirs. I'm like, nothing. Like you can script it if you want, and you can have your segments or whatever, but it's just so much better if you just
wing it, wing a prayer. Yep, we're halfway there. Actually, we're more than halfway there. It is 40 minutes in. Let's finish. Let's close this thing out, man, because I know this conversation is going to take a while.
Is it?
You know how these things go with the draft. Oh, I'm about to. Woo! Do you eat fruit, Dave?
I do eat fruit.
Yeah. Are you a citrus guy? Or are you like a melon guy?
Probably a melon.
Melon guy.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Like I don't want to give too much away here.
That's fair. That's fair because we are going to draft.
Right.
All right.
So,
See,
but
I was trying to
I
get
like
his
the
head.
whole like everything something from each different type. I would say.
Well, do you buy the $1 million platters that? And yes, I said $1 million. Have you seen how expensive fruit is when you buy it already pre-chopped? Why?
Yeah. No. I rarely ever buy it pre-chopped. Rarely.
I do it all the time. I'm not gonna lie. I hate that I do, but I do. It's easy for lunch if I'm packing lunches. I don't
Yeah,
think
I
about
guess, but like if you're buying like strawberries, like I'm not buying that pre-chopped. That's too easy.
it. Yeah, that's true.
You know, and like sometimes I want a whole strawberry. Sometimes I don't want it
Yeah.
chopped.
No, I normally buy. My daughter likes. This is a whole nother. Let's get to the damn draft.
Yeah, I'm pulling up a list because I don't want to.
Oh, you don't want to forget anything.
Yeah.
Best fruit.
I just looked up fruit and I just have a picture of fruit.
Excellent. Excellent. Oh, this is interesting.
I don't remember what the last draft was, but I'll give you first pick, I guess.
I get first pick in the best fruit draft.
Yeah, so
Ooh.
I hate when we do the drafts because I never know if I should do this as like I'm drafting my favorites or if I'm trying to be a crowd pleaser. That got me in trouble with the
Never.
breakfast draft.
Never. That was the best thing ever. Never be a crowd pleaser.
Let's go.
Always go with your own. If I'm all right, so I don't even have to look for my first pick. My first pick, hands down, best fruit to me. I want to be clear. To me, pineapple. Number one.
Okay, yeah, you could have got that round 5.
See, that's something else I'm not thinking is like, what is he going to pick?
Right.
Maybe
So-
I could let that
So
slide.
I'm picking my favorite also, number 1, and I'm going cantaloupe.
Okay.
It's my favorite fruit.
Okay.
Easy, by far.
Okay.
I don't think pineapple would probably be a lot of people's first pick. Cantaloupe is not going to be a ton of people's first picks.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I like pineapple. I feel like pineapple is hands down.
Pineapple has like a cult following, so people would pick it number 1.
It's so good.
But I feel like you could always get it later than round 1.
See, cantaloupe just doesn't, to me, it doesn't really have any flavor. It's not bad. I like some cantaloupe, right? It's mild. It's not super sweet.
You gotta if you get it like perfectly ripe and everything, it's great for me.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Pick number 2 in the best fruit in the world draft. Whew, this is tough because there's so many out there that I can go with, and I'm scared that I'm going to lose out on one if I don't go with it. Is it a cop out if I go with the apple? Pick number 2.
Just in general,
Just
apple. In
apple.
general.
I mean, do I have to pick a certain apple?
No, I'll give you apple. There's enough fruits.
If I need to be specific, I can say like
Apple.
I'm a Honey Crisp guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
like a Pink Lady. I think that's another one. I like.
Gala apples.
Gala's
Also like
fine. I like all apples.
I'm not a bit. I mean, I'll eat red apples, but it's definitely become my least favorite apple. I think just a
You're
red
green
apple.
guy?
I love green apple.
Like a Granny Smith?
I love green apple.
They're
Like
kind of
even
sour.
even so, like I was gonna say when I don't eat candy often, but if I do, like green apple is like my favorite flavor. Anything. I love sour stuff.
You know what you can't beat? A little bit of like apple and peanut butter.
Yep.
So good.
Like that.
I mean, what
Like
a
that.
treat.
I am gonna take. I know what I want to take, but it's like it's not one of my favorites. But I'm gonna take watermelon.
Oh, okay.
I'll take watermelon round 2.
I was hoping that would slide.
It's not one of my I like watermelon, but it's not one of my top favorites. But I know I'm not gonna be able to let that stick around, so I'm taking watermelon in round 2.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
That's a first round pick that I got in round 2. You got an apple, which is a first round pick.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if we're crowd pleasing here, but we're going by what we like. But now I'm overthinking this.
I'm doing a little bit of both. I'm gonna be honest.
I think that I'm going to go with something that I do enjoy. I don't know if it's my third favorite fruit, but I feel like it's a staple in the fruit community. You know, this is like, you know, if we're talking quarterbacks here, this might not be the Tom Brady or the Peyton Manning or even the Patrick Mahomes, but this is like the Drew Brees of the fruit community, very underrated. But also a lot of people know it's good. I'm going with the banana.
You mother. I was gonna pick it. Banana's got versatility.
It's there. I'm telling you.
If you didn't pick it, it was the next pick.
Yeah, I knew I had to.
It was the next pick.
I knew I had to. I'm glad I went with it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that pick. It's just it's so many different things you could do. And you know what? Like I'll eat a banana by itself, but I think it's like the way I eat bananas the least. Is just grabbing a banana and eating it. Like all my smoothies have bananas. No, solid pick.
Yeah, well.
I am gonna choose. I'm gonna go with the grape.
Ooh.
I don't like red grapes or purple grapes, whatever. I only like green grapes, but I'm taking the grapes.
That stings. I'm a big grape guy. I do like grapes. That stings. That could be like a sneaky sleeper pick. Like that could have been a second round. You know, some people's first round. If we're being real, you get wine out of grapes.
That's true.
Come on.
That's true. I wasn't even thinking that.
No.
I just really like green grapes.
Yeah.
I will walk around my house, toss them all the time. Dude, when I was a kid, like it's something I'm really good at. I don't know why. It's like a weird talent I have. The bit like tossing food in there and catching it in my mouth.
Yeah.
Like I used to walk around my house throwing it off the wall and like, doing trick shots as a kid.
Ew.
Oh no, as an adult, it's gross. But as a kid, I didn't care.
What's worse, throwing food off a wall and then eating it, or eating a ketchup sandwich?
I'm still going ketchup sandwich.
Okay, that's fair.
What round are we on? 4?
4. We're on 4. I got 2 picks left.
Yeah.
I'm thinking here. There's some staples that I know people are going to be like, "How did you?"
There's a lot of good picks left.
Yeah. How did you not pick that? There's so many that I'm thinking. I think I'm going to go with one that I really like. No, because it's not. There's no way this is 4th round. You can't pick this over that. All right. This is the one that just snuck in my head, and I'll say the other one next if it's still available. I think 4th round, I got to go with the strawberry.
God damn it. So I'm taking my picks.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw this list. I was like, how have I not picked the strawberry yet?
Yeah.
I like strawberry. Cantaloupe is my favorite. Strawberry would have been my second favorite fruit.
Got to go with the strawberry, man. Strawberries are so versatile, too.
Yeah.
You can put them in a smoothie. You can eat them straight up. You can dip them in some chocolate. What are you feeling, you know? Put it on top of a little yogurt with some granola.
Yeah. No.
Come on now.
100%. Strawberries. There's a lot of fruits that could be first round picks. Fruits are elite, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It took me a while, like as I was growing up, to like really appreciate fruit.
Yeah. Healthy candy.
Yeah.
Healthy candy.
Yeah.
A lot of sugar in some of them, but you know what? You balance it out. It's okay.
Right. So my 4th round pick, I want to pick something, but I don't know if I have like a apple situation where it's
okay
all encompassing, or if I should pick this one specific thing. I'll tell you what the one specific thing is.
Okay.
It's a satsuma.
Okay.
I didn't know if I should just draft oranges.
Yeah. Well, see, that's actually the one I was talking about where I feel like other people would have picked that way. Or like people love oranges.
Like I feel like if I just pick oranges, it's almost all encompassing.
I think you can. I think,
okay.
Yeah. Either way,
I'm taking the orange satsuma.
Yeah.
But the satsuma to me is better than the orange.
Okay.
I don't. Maybe that's a southern like a us thing, but I just really like satsumas. I think the size of it is a little bit smaller.
Size does matter.
It's for some reason it's easier to peel a satsuma. I don't know. I just like the satsuma a little better. A little sweeter, I think. Also,
I could get with that. I can get behind that. I also know a bunch of people that grow satsumas, so easier to get. Well,
yeah, dude, you can at least 4 or 5 times a year. Somebody's giving you a little bag of satsumas.
Hey, you want some satsumas? Yes.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yes. Okay. So my 5th round pick. I'll be honest. I don't know how many people would draft this. This is for me. This is for me. If you guys are wondering, and if you're on board with this with me, awesome. I love you. You can join this train. Okay. My 5th round pick, I'm going with kiwi.
Okay.
I'm going with kiwi, and that's for me. And if you like kiwi, come aboard. It's kind of the the underrated. It's like the hip, new, trendy, like not fruit, but if there was a hot up and coming quarterback that maybe isn't super established yet, but like people are like, you know what, maybe that one. That's the kiwi.
Okay. My 5th round pick is not something I eat.
Oh boy.
This is a full crowd pleaser here. I'm going the avocado. I feel like it's just something people love, and it needs to be drafted, I think. And
people love avocado. I love avocado.
Yeah, I don't need avocado, but that's a crowd pleaser pick for sure.
It's fair. It's kind of like it's like the Bill Belichick of fruit.
Yeah. See, there's not a lot of fruits left that I eat. So, I'm like, crowd pleaser. The lime would have been a solid pick.
Solid.
Just for the fact that I put it in
blueberries.
I don't eat
I don't eat blueberries. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, all these. Any berry, I'm all in.
Yeah. Yeah. Like they're fine. They're fine.
You put a little blueberry. Listen, you make some overnight oats. Put some blueberries, some strawberries, stuff like that. Just let it sit overnight. Next morning, you wake up. Best thing ever. Best thing ever.
I'm just looking. I'm looking at different things. It's like coconut.
I like coconut. I can get behind it. It's not something I'm gonna like.
It's too strong of a flavor for me.
I like it in small doses on things. Just the hint of coconut is what I'm.
That's one of those ones. I'm like, that's not for me. I'm looking at some other things here that we left off.
Yeah. Keep going.
Not really cranberries. Not a cranberry guy.
Yeah. They're too, I don't know.
Pears?
Yeah, can't do it.
My great grandpa eats pears like apples.
Yeah.
Like I don't like. I'm not a pear. Like I don't love pears, but he just eats them like an apple. Legitimately, just cuts them up, eats them with his cereal in the morning, and
Yeah. I used to really like them growing up. There was a pear tree in front of my grandpa's camp, and they used to just fall off the tree, or I would pick them sometimes if they were ripe. Yeah, I used to really like some pears. Reminds me of my
I
childhood.
think the only other big one that we didn't take was the cherry.
Well, you got cherry, peaches,
Peaches, lemons.
lemons. I think we said lemons.
But nobody's eating lemons.
No,
Right.
you're putting it in something,
Right.
Like a little lemon zest, or like you're squeezing
Right.
some lemon into something.
All right, what is a breadfruit?
I don't know. I was just seeing the same thing. I never heard of that. I don't know what the heck that is.
I don't know what a breadfruit
Bit of
is.
breadfruit here, huh? Is it? How many carbs are in a breadfruit?
Dragon fruit. There's probably people that love dragon fruit.
Breadfruit. I'm googling it. Let's close this
Pomegranates,
podcast out.
guava.
Strong. Oh, it's a
I don't
mulberry.
even remember the 5 I picked.
Breadfruit is a species of flowering tree in the mulberry and jackfruit family, believed to be a domesticated descendant of the Artocarpus. Artocarpus camansi? I give up. I give up.
Okay.
That's it. I got nothing else.
So just to close this out, I Googled fun fact of the day.
Oh, let's do it.
And the first thing that pops up is Abraham Lincoln was a bartender. I don't know if it's true, but that's what Google says.
I love that. I bet he makes a killer old fashioned. Just look at him.
Is it because every picture you see of him is black and white? You just assume it's a good old fashioned?
No, you know what? I think it's the top hat. He looks like a very hipster bartender. Like if I walk in a place and there's a dude that looks like Abraham Lincoln bartending, give me an old fashioned now. Right now. You can put on whatever show you want. Make it as fancy as you need to.
I don't know if Abraham Lincoln would love a show.
He might not. He might not. He might just, oh, Jesus. Jesus.
We can end it there.
All right.
I'm good.
Till next time, we appreciate you. This is the Who Effing Knows podcast. Check us out everywhere at Who Effing Knows. Go subscribe to YouTube. Also, the know.com, man. So much stuff coming out with the know. We're putting out content like crazy right now. Killer group of individuals. Some really cool merch that came out too. Bayou Sniper shirts, really cool. A lot of that goes to Dave. He developed a lot of that. And Dylan McNeely with the idea. I mean, just phenomenal. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Deuces.